Hey Capricorn, I hope you guys are doing great. This is going to be your general life reading for June 15th through the 30th. If you want to skip the card pull and go straight to the message, go ahead and click the timestamp in the description box below. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get started. So, we're going to first pull a couple of oracle cards to see what the overall energy is that's surrounding you guys right now. And the first one that we have out for you is Kuan Yin, Compassion. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. So let's pull a second oracle card and see what we have for your energy surrounding this reading. And we have True Love. All right, well, let's see how those fit into your overall reading. But we'll get into some tarot now and see what's happening in your current energy. And for you, we have the Five of Water, or the Five of Cups in traditional tarot. Okay, let's see challenges, obstacles, and what's currently hidden. We have the Nine of Fire, and we have the King of Earth in reverse. For advice from Spirit, we have the Six of Fire in reverse. And for your potential outcome for my Capricorns, we have Empress. These cards are looking really, really similar to, I think, Virgo's reading. There seems to be a bit of a theme happening among the earth signs. So I don't know what's going on with you all, but let's see if we can clarify these messages a little further. So for your current energy, we have the Lovers. For challenges, obstacles, and what's currently hidden, we have the Three of Cups. And one flipped over for the advice from Spirit, we have the Three of Wands. And for your potential outcome, we have the Seven of Cups. Okay, this is looking good. This is looking a little bit better. Let's get some Lenormands and get final messages before we get into the reading. For your current energy, we have the Key. Challenges and obstacles for my Capricorn, we have the Fish. For advice from Spirit, we have the Mountain. And for your potential outcome, we have the Whip. Okay. All right, Capricorn. So looking at the overall energy that's surrounding this reading, we have compassion and we have true love. So the way that this is coming through for me is that this is not necessarily related to romance, but it almost feels as though you are actually moving forward in your life. Now, whether this is a new job or going to school or starting a business, exploring a new hobby, it could be anything. But the vibe that I'm getting from you guys, which is interesting because with the other earth signs, Taurus and Virgo, when I did their readings, it was really about them sort of being stuck and not moving forward. But in your case, it very much feels like you are moving forward to what it is that your heart desires, right? It feels very light. It feels very exciting, but it also feels as though there are people who are kind of tugging at you to not do that and to not move forward, to not branch out, to not expand your life. And it almost feels as though Spirit is saying that not to get angry with them or not to get irritated, but show them a little bit of compassion because your elevating is unfamiliar to them. It's very uncomfortable, and there might be some fear on their end that they'll be left behind. But it really feels as though you are in a place of where you are pushing forward and you are exploring where your love lies. You're trying to find your true north. You're trying to find your passion, and that's actually pretty exciting. So let's take a peek at your current energy. We have the Five of Water. we have the Lovers, and we have the Key. So again, it feels as though you're in a good place, right? You're embracing life. You're sort of unlocking possibilities. You're unlocking potential. But at the same time, it seems as though there's a little bit of wistfulness almost. It doesn't feel as though you regret taking the steps that you needed to, but it almost feels like you're a little bit sad about the people who don't seem particularly happy for you at the progress that you're making, at your steps forward, at you basically growing in your life. So, looking at the challenges, obstacles, and what's currently hidden, we have the Nine of Fire or the Nine of Wands in traditional tarot. We have the King of Earth in reverse. We have the Three of Cups in reverse. And we also have the Fish. So, what it feels like for the biggest challenges is that there are people around you who don't want to see you grow. I don't necessarily think that it's because they don't care about you. I think it's because you growing is showing them how much they haven't. And it's showing them opportunities that they may have missed. It might be highlighting the fact that they weren't able or willing to take the same leaps of faith that you were. And so, whereas you may want these people to sort of celebrate with you, they're not. They're not. And it almost feels as though you don't want to contribute anything to them, that you may have to move on from them, which for you, I'm feeling that you are pretty loyal to the people around you. It's hurtful and it's a bit stressful. So looking at the advice from Spirit, we have the Six of Fire or the Six of Wands in reverse. We have the Three of Wands, and we also have the Mountain. And so what I'm feeling from this, from Spirit, is pretty clear, right? There's not necessarily a need to move on from these people because I don't feel that there's any maliciousness. I don't feel as though they're not happy for you because they don't like you or because they want to see you fail. I think that it's because they're almost a little bit envious. They wish that they were having the same type of growth that you are. And Spirit is saying, don't be too quick to dismiss them. Give them some time, to come around. But at the same time, stand firm in what it is that you're doing. This path forward that you have embarked on, do not allow these people or their projection onto you or their feelings allow you to be taken off course. You can absolutely be patient with them. You can give them all the compassion in the world, but that should not stop you from your journey, from your forward movement. Not even a little bit. They'll come around, I think, at some point, but that's, again, this is all about you. This is all about you and your path. So looking at the potential outcome, we have the Empress, we have the Seven of Cups, and we also have the Whip. So what I feel ultimately is going to happen with this situation, you're going to keep progressing. You are absolutely going to keep progressing. You are out here living your absolute best life. You are doing things that you want to do, that you feel will build that foundation for whatever comes after this. This is you all about building, all about standing in your power with the Empress card. I think at some point you will, for those who don't come around, you will have to sort of look at folks and say, ask yourself some hard questions. Are they really for me? Are they not? Are they able to overcome their own feelings about themselves that they're projecting onto me and my journey? And if not, then you're going to have to set your boundaries. And I think that that's, a byproduct of the Empress card. It's going to be easy for you. It's going to be very, very easy for you that these folks that, may not necessarily be rooting for you now, if they don't come around or if they change to a point where, they're actively rooting against you, because I feel like there's a difference not rooting for, but actively rooting against. You're going to crack down. And I think that you are going to protect your path. You're going to protect yourself. And that's not a bad thing. But I think for the most part, the folks that are around you are going to come around. And I dare say that you might even inspire some of these folks to explore their own options in life. And they're saying, well, if Capricorn can move forward and, they seem to be happy and doing what they enjoy and living this wonderful life, maybe I can do the same thing. So I think that there's going to be a chunk of people that you motivate, and there's going to be a chunk of people who absolutely just cannot get out of their own head. And for those people, you're going to set those hard boundaries. It's like the sort of veil has been lifted from everybody's eyes, and you're like, yep, you know what? I don't need that energy around me. These folks who are matching my energy, who are excited now, and who are finding their own path, yeah, I can keep them around. The ones who haven't, the ones who don't want to celebrate all of us, yeah, they can go. I don't need that. So let me go ahead and grab one last oracle card for you. And see what final message Spirit has. And what we have for you is, I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. So I feel as though this ties into compassion, right? Where maybe you've been disappointed by people's reactions, but if you look at them with a loving eye and try to understand where they're coming from, then maybe things can be salvaged. But again, that's only half of the equation, right? You can look at them with all of the compassion in the world while protecting yourself and continuing to move forward. But if they're not able to do the same, then make sure that your boundaries are intact enough to not let this person's energy trickle over into your own, because it really feels as though you're on a good path and you are in a good place, and others shouldn't be allowed to interrupt your peace or your progress. So, don't get too angry at these folks. They have a lot of inner work that they need to do, but don't allow them to trample on your happiness either. So there's a balance to be had. And Capricorn, the way that this reading is feeling, I think that you're going to be able to do it. So I will leave it there. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that it resonated with you somehow. If it did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. In the meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, and I am sending you all huge hugs.